Hey guys, I'm Tim.
I'm Bob.
I'm Dan.
And this is the Board Game Rundown, and today I'm very excited to have a prototype of Fighting Fantasy Adventures. This is the new Martin Wallace game. It is on Kickstarter right now. As of filming, it literally just launched.
Yeah.
So we were lucky enough to get a prototype to play through and kind of check it out. Fighting Fantasy Adventures is based on books of the same title by Steve Jackson and Ian Livingstone. Martin Wallace apparently was a fan of these, and this is sort of a choose-your-own-adventure style book or books. And he made a game out of it. And for a Martin Wallace game, the rule set is very simple.
Yeah.
It is very simple and very straightforward. I mean that as a compliment because literally you start with the top dungeon card and the top encounter card. They're numbered 1 and 1, and they're going to tell you what to do. And so when you're in the dungeon, you've got, in this particular one, you've got 3 different ways you can go. Before you go anywhere, you want to establish party order. Because that is important, because that is going to determine maybe something that happens, or who attacks first, or who is attacked first, or if there's traps. You know, maybe you're going to encounter the traps.
It's a trap.
It's a trap. It's always a trap. So things are not always what they seem. Sometimes you will get little context clues on one of the sides of the card.
Yeah.
And then that might go, okay, well, maybe we should try going in this way, in this order. If you run into a monster, you will run into a monster.
Yeah, when you run into a monster.
If it's just one, it's pretty straightforward. It lines up. The first person in the room has to fight that monster on the first try.
Yep.
And it is literally, you roll 2 die, and then you add your skill value to it. High roll wins, and then damage is the difference between the 2 rolls. I mean, it's very straightforward.
Yeah.
You have luck you can spend if you want to, if you would like to re-roll.
All the dice.
All the dice. Yes, you re-roll both die. There were some tokens we didn't use, like food and coins, in this prototype.
Hourglass one looks like.
Yeah, and the hourglass. So we don't know what those do.
Running out of time.
But we didn't have to use them in the prototype adventure
mission,
that we were sent. But anyways, yeah, you're going to go through cards. You're going to make decisions. You have the ability to assign attackers.
Team up on some monsters.
So there's just one monster. We all team up, and it makes sense. The players who are players in the back get bonuses. So to their roles, it's really fun like that and really nice. And yeah, everybody moves as a party. There's no splitting up unless you get knocked out. Then you can drag somebody out of the room, or you retreat. But yes, there's different puzzles in the room. There's different ways that you are going to have to debate. There's potential solutions. We won't give any away, but
we get different items, do different things.
Yeah, we got a really good item like at a crucial time, and we're like, well, if this doesn't work here, we're losing.
That's right.
Right. Let's use it.
Yeah, so we got lucky and it worked. But man, it was a trip.
Close.
It was a trip. So anyways, guys, why don't we give some of our impressions of Fighting Fantasy Adventures? Bobby, you want to go first?
I growing up, I did a lot of choose your own adventure books, and I really like them. You know, and as long as you leave your finger in the page, you can always go back.
Oh, right.
Right. But the gang up mechanic was pretty interesting. I like that you could, the more luck you have, you get more chance at rolling the dice. A little more mitigation would have been helpful, because there were some times we were just fighting some big baddies, and man, you got to really hope you roll high.
Man, we were just having
low.
some rough rolls.
There was some rough rolling
again, this is a
on.
prototype.
Sure.
So,
Yeah, there might be a little bit more coming out with that.
Right.
I'd be curious to see what they do with some of the leveling up and whatnot, because all these cards we have are level 1. So I'm assuming that as you go through different missions or defeat certain monsters, you'll be leveling up and getting either more abilities or getting to unlock and reuse some of the previously used ones. The context clues are always fun, right? You're like, oh, there's flapping coming from this room. The last time it was flapping, we knew it was a monster. So let's let the warrior go in first this time. Yeah. Oh, should have been the scout.
Yeah, right.
And without being too spoilery, right, for something like this, that worked.
Yeah.
Learning, catching on to what flapping went, and even guessing thematically, right? You hear wailing, and we're like, okay, maybe sirens, maybe, right?
Banshee
using that, maybe
yeah.
banshee, right? We're naming these things, using your prior knowledge. It works here, and the game is clearly designed on purpose to work that way. It's made for fans of TTRPGs, right?
Yeah, I mean, this reminded me of playing through Tomb of Unknown Horrors, and stuff like that, right? You know what I mean? Where it's well, we're going to go through this. You hear some scratching down this hallway. Do you decide to go down it? And then it's here we go.
Well, yeah, and this is a Steve Jackson property, right? And obviously Steve Jackson's behind GURPS and stuff, so that makes sense. there's knowledge there, and
Right.
so and fanhood. That's not a word.
Yeah,
Fandom.
Yeah. But like,
I was there somewhere.
fan thing.
Yeah.
It's there though.
Fan
We're
stuff.
very scientific.
Yeah,
here.
oscillators and stuff.
It's all ball bearings these
but
days.
yeah, and you can feel that here as someone. Again, I've played D&D nonstop for the last 5 years or something, 6 years. I don't even know. I did a 3-year GURPS campaign where I met every week with my group, and then once that ended, a bit of a hiatus, and then I started playing with my family and stuff, right? And this stuff is awesome when you get these like tangential little games that like give you the feeling, but in a much
Right.
simpler package. You don't have to
Right.
make a character. You don't have to do all this stuff. This is much easier for someone that's like, oh,
pick
I don't
up
know
and
about that. Again,
go.
Andrew was playing with us, right?
Right.
And
Yep.
Andrew
No
is
D&D
like,
knowledge.
yeah, no, doesn't care at all
Right.
about TTRPGs, and he was playing, and
I
seemed
feel like
he
he was
having a pretty good.
I felt like
time.
he was having a good time with
Yeah.
it. You know,
I think
because
his only takeaway was more dice mitigation, maybe,
Yep.
you know,
Yeah.
because it relies heavily on that, and
Right.
you just go into this knowing that.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the
You
main
know?
crux, I would say.
Yeah.
yeah,
But yeah, I mean the marching order thing was super cool.
I
choosing
like that. I like that
yeah. We
mechanic
We
a
never
lot.
really used the retreat mechanic.
No,
it
we were just fighting.
Yeah,
Yeah, we just
maybe
kept
that's
going
why
at
it
it.
felt so rough.
This is tough, and we can run away.
Why would
But
we
I
do
mean,
that? Well,
isn't
that's
that
like
thematic?
our D&D group.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Isn't
yeah.
that the
We
matter?
never ran away. in
You like
D&D.
accidentally find the final boss on like the second
Yeah.
mission.
When the DM's
Like-
sitting there and you're like, this person looks very tough.
That's right.
There's an exit door. Let's fight him.
It's like, ooh, your strongest character took 1 hit and he's out of 2 hit points. I attack him back again.
Yeah.
The boss's name
That
is
boss might-
TPK.
Yeah.
Let's do
That
it.
boss might need that exit, so we better kill him. We can't go through there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was impressed. I really liked the tactical decisions of when I was using my cards, honestly. I played the mage, and it really did feel like, okay, guys, like, I could use this card now. It's really powerful, but once you use a card, you lose it unless a special effect gives it to you back, or we assume the leveling mechanism
Right.
gets you your cards back because of how the leveling cards look. But I really thought the tactical decisions there, at least for the mage, were really interesting.
I know. I mean, I felt that for the scout. I think we saw it for the warrior. Like, where in the lineup do we put the warrior? Because sometimes it was good to have the warrior later
Back to get that
just
bonus.
to get that extra bonus because
Really-
we know he's gonna hit, right?
Right.
You know, like so we know.
Everybody else just try to like get by with only like 1 or 2 hit point
Yeah.
loss, and let the warrior wallop on it.
Yeah, so there's a lot of neat things with this. This was unlike anything that I played before, which is always nice. I mean, I played dungeon crawlers before,
Right.
But this is almost like a very streamlined, simple, straightforward dungeon crawler.
That's
like,
how I felt. The dungeon crawler.
yeah, but like it didn't really feel on rails because
Oh no, because you're actually choosing which
you're
way you
choosing
wanna
which
go.
way you're going. I think for us, and again, this is a prototype
Right.
adventure. We did end up going through all the rooms, like
except
except
for
for one.
We wanted to see it all.
Yeah, but we wanted to see it all.
Yeah.
And then, but like this is one I could bust out with my kids though, because it's simple math,
Right.
to do the thing.
Yep.
And you know, if there's words they don't understand, my daughter could understand, and you know all the words.
But you can just read it to them. Yeah.
You just reminded me of something that is such a weird, like, it's not even a nitpick because it's just like a suggestion. Marty. Hey, thanks for watching. I know, it's us. But no, seriously, a thing for me is, as someone who plays a lot of D&D and stuff, right? And again, I feel like this game is designed for people who like that universe and just want a quick, cool little side game they can play that gives them that feeling. And also, yes, bring in new people and stuff, right? But I'm just telling you, just from my experience, don't use pipped dice. People who play D&D and stuff are used to numbered dice, and it makes math easier. Yes, I know what 6 plus 5 equals, but a 6 written on a die versus 6 pips on a die, my head does the math on a 6 faster. Yeah, I'm just used to D&D dice. I can look at the dice and I go, do that, and I can add all those up. To where when I see this, for some reason, my brain just slows down.
Well, this is just prototype,
No, I know.
so-
I'm just saying, in the final one, use numbers instead of pips. That's all I'm saying.
You clearly didn't play D&D in the 80s.
True. Yes. I
I don't think they had numbered dice.
No, they
back
didn't.
Then. It was
Yeah,
all pips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
6.
and it could be I'm in the minority, right? So, you guys leave your comments as well if you play a lot of stuff and stuff. I just, for some reason, my brain will add up a numbered die so much faster than pip die, and it will just keep this very fast-paced game going.
Yeah,
quicker.
well, and the on the flip of that, right, is let's just say, for example, if the game came with these die, I would probably just buy some
Supplement
cool
dice.
die and throw them in there.
Yeah.
Just because it's like, oh, I want to play this game, I want to pip it out a little bit, I want to make it look nice.
I was gonna say the same thing. I was like, I'd get a green die for my luck. I'd get a red die for
Oh,
my.
right.
Well, I might not get green and red, but you know what I'm saying. Like, I would get two
Bob's
gray dice.
colorblind.
I'd get two gray dice, and I would say, look, these are my health and my luck.
But the nice thing though is that there's no nothing is based on color.
Right. That was it was all
No,
the
we
were
luck
good.
is a clover, and the heart is health.
Yeah,
So pretty,
we were
pretty
fine.
easy to figure it out.
We were fine.
Yeah.
And then I think if anything was on color on the card, it was red. I mean, there was text saying
Yes.
there's
yeah.
a blue
Always.
dragon on the wall.
Right. Or we had a blue coin or a red coin.
Yeah.
It said it right on the card.
Yep.
Red coin.
So there was
No colorblind issues. Thank you.
which is awesome. Great job.
Yeah, I
Great
mean,
job.
Overall for the market this is trying to hit, I was very impressed.
Yep.
And again, so easy
Low
to just
rules,
throw
overhead.
three. You could throw 3 or 4 adventures right in a box. Here's an expansion.
Right, yeah, I'm really interested in seeing how the supplementary adventures are going to work in
Like
the
7
future.
pages of rules on this.
Yeah, I
thing out
mean,
here.
right.
Yeah, they're prototype rules, but
Of
still
course,
7
yeah.
pages. That's pretty short.
Yeah, for what this was, I really appreciated it and enjoyed it quite a bit.
The one thing, just in case people are interested, is it is a 4-player only game, right? So you have to play multi-handed if you have less
Correct.
than 4
You
people.
want to
that's
run with
not
all the
even-
heroes.
That's not even hard
it's
at all, though.
super light
Yeah.
here. Yeah, I'm just saying, just so
Yeah.
you know, every hero will be in the game when
Yep.
you're playing.
Yes. As
It'll
it
be
stands right
it'll
now,
be
every hero plays.
Team of 4. That'd be really cool if they had other classes come out and you can kind of build your own class.
Right? Yeah,
your
and
own
you just
party.
have to have 4 people
Yeah,
in
pick
the
4
party,
people
but
to build
not
your party.
necessarily, yeah.
We're roguing out. It's
4
all
healers.
rogues. Yeah, 4 healers. there
and
you go.
die instantly.
I heal. Wait, they're dead. Oh, wait, I'm gonna heal.
We
Oh, you're
spend
dead.
all of our time just healing each other.
Yeah.
The monsters hitting us, and we're like, heal.
Doing
heal,
nothing
heal,
else.
Heal. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds right. Anyways, super fun. Really glad we got a chance to look at this.
Yeah, that was
I
awesome.
think we all had a good time with it. Even Andrew, who had to take off and
Yep.
couldn't stay for the review. But I
Yep.
feel like he would have had positive things to say.
Yeah.
So
Agreed.
confidently can just say that this is another really good game by Martin Wallace.
Right.
And I really,
that?
right? Well, he's designed 7 games.
Okay.
So it's kind of a lot.
Yeah.
But he's only been
pretty
designing
good.
for 3 years
30
Yeah.
No,
or 30.
33.
Oh,
3 to
is that
30.
what it
3
is?
to 30 years.
Yeah. It's a little bit of longevity.
But if you ever played a choose your own adventure, you're gonna enjoy this because
Yeah.
you're literally choosing your own adventure and dungeon crawling through. It's a very simplified version of what we used to do back in the '90s when we were just I would just draw up dungeons and
Right.
put traps in some rooms
And use those pip dice.
Yeah.
yes, and also Dan, ready? Thaco.
Thaco.
I know
Hope
what
you
that
brought your
is.
calculator. Yeah,
I've never done it.
I
know
know.
what it
I've heard
is.
of it.
to
Before.
hit armor class 0, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
I have a -8 armor class.
Good.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like having an 18 armor
Nice,
class.
dude.
It's pretty
Good
solid.
for you. Anyway.
But it's also like having a -8
It is.
because let's make it harder than
Yes.
it needed to be.
Well, that's how we kept the jocks out.
yeah. Yeah. Now they let anybody.
Now they let
in.
anybody in.
Yeah.
It's like,
all the
fine.
gatekeepers are gone when they got rid of Thaco. That was our
That's
last
right.
gatekeeper
That was
for
it.
D&D.
That's right.
But yeah, good time. Had fun with this. I really look forward to seeing what everything this can be.
Yeah.
So that's part of the best part. I haven't looked. The Kickstarter page literally just went live right as we
Yeah,
were
just
sitting down
before
to
this,
film
we
it. So
just
I've
saw
not
that.
even looked at the Kickstarter page.
Yep.
But we wanted to get this out and going since we had an opportunity. If you like this and you want to hear Martin Wallace talk about it, you could find that interview where I sit there and just freak out while Martin Wallace is telling me all kinds of fun stuff.
Yeah.
For 45 minutes. It's
He's
amazing.
funny, yeah.
Yeah, he is funny too. He's really funny. Very dry English
yes,
wit,
love
right?
it.
But yeah, super good. So, anyways, this is Fighting Fantasy Adventures. I almost said Fantasy Fighting Adventures.
Fantasy Fighting.
That's not right. It's Fighting Fantasy Adventures. And for the board game rundown, I've been Tim.
Bob.
Dan.
Thanks for watching.
If you can say the title's only 3 words.